Più forza lì sul busto, più profondo. Lavora con passione, non dormire.
The curve must be precise here, exactly as the drawing dictates.
We understand, Maestro. It will be perfect.
Gloria in excelsis Deo, et in terra pax hominibus bonae.
Rome 1650s, Baroque Revolution. Imagine walking through Rome in 1655 and witnessing the impossible, the eternal city reinventing itself once again. Picture this. You're standing in St. Peter's Square, surrounded by the greatest building project in Christian history, while around you Bernini and Borromini are locked in the most famous rivalry in art history. They called it the Baroque Revolution, and Pope Alexander VII has unleashed an army of artists to transform Rome into heaven on earth. Every street corner erupts with marble masterpieces, every square becomes theatrical stage, every fountain tells stories in stone. This isn't just urban renewal, this is spiritual theatre performed in stone and gold. You're witnessing the birth of Baroque Rome, where marble learned to dance, water learned to sing, and architecture learned to tell stories. The eternal city is proving it can reinvent itself once more and emerge more glorious than ever. Bu videoda, modern AI araxları kullanarak multidisiplin Romasını canlandırıyorum. Dönemin resimlerini, mimari planlarını ve sanat eserlerini kullanarak perspektif değiştiriyor, kamera açılarını değişiyor ve bu muhteşem barok patlamasının içinde hareket ediyoruz. Amacımız sadece geçmişe bakmak değil, o dönemin Roma'sında yürümek ve sanattaki en büyük devrimlerden birinin tanığı olmak. The Eternal City awakens. Step into Rome, 1650. This isn't the Rome of antiquity, buried under centuries of decay. This isn't the medieval Rome of struggling popes and dark ages. This is Rome reborn for the third time in its history. Pope Alexander VII Chigi has a vision that will reshape Christianity itself. He wants Rome to be so beautiful, so overwhelming, so spiritually moving, that every visitor will fall to their knees in awe. The Catholic Counter-Reformation needs a visual language, and Rome will speak it in marble and gold. Imagine the energy crackling through the city. Thousands of artists, architects, sculptors, and craftsmen stream into Rome from across Europe. The greatest artistic minds of the age compete for papal commissions. And at the center of it all, two men whose rivalry will define an entire era. Bernini versus Borromini. The greatest artistic duel. In one corner, Gian Lorenzo Bernini, sculptor of genius, architect of drama, the Pope's favorite. In the other, Francesco Borromini, the maverick, the rule breaker, the man who makes buildings come alive. Imagine meeting Bernini in 1655. He's 57 years old, at the height of his powers, and he owns Rome. His workshop buzzes with dozens of assistants, carving marble that seems to breathe. When Bernini touches stone, it becomes flesh, fabric, flowing water. Borromini works alone, obsessive, brilliant, tormented. His buildings curve and twist in ways that shouldn't be possible. Where Bernini follows classical rules, Borromini breaks them. Where Bernini creates beauty, Borromini creates wonder. Their rivalry pushes both men to impossible heights. Every commission becomes a battle. Every completed work throws down a challenge. Rome becomes their battlefield, and we are the winners. St. Peter's Square, theatre of faith. Stand in the old St. Peter's Square in 1650, before Bernini's transformation. It's cramped, irregular, unworthy of the greatest church in Christendom. Pope Alexander VII sees the problem. Pilgrims arrive from across the Catholic world, but the approach to St. Peter's disappoints rather than inspires. Enter Bernini with the most audacious architectural gesture in history. He will embrace the entire world with stone. His colonnade will reach out like the arms of the church itself, gathering all humanity into its embrace. Imagine watching this miracle take shape between 1656 and 1667. 4 rows of columns, 284 in total, creating an oval piazza of unprecedented grandeur. Standing in the center, The columns align perfectly, 4 rows become one. It's architectural magic, and it announces to the world that Rome is back. The fountains sing. Before Bernini, fountains were practical things. Water flowed, people drank, horses refreshed themselves. After Bernini, fountains became poetry in marble and water. Picture the Fountain of the Four Rivers rising in Piazza Navona. This isn't just a fountain, it's Bernini's vision of the entire world paying homage to papal power. 4 river gods represent the continents: the Nile for Africa, the Ganges for Asia, the Danube for Europe, the Rio de la Plata for America. But look closer. Each figure tells a story. The Nile covers his head because his source was unknown. The Rio de la Plata reaches toward the Church of Sant'Agnes because Bernini wants everyone to see whose fountain is more beautiful. Imagine sitting by this fountain on a summer evening in 1655. Water cascades over marble that seems alive. The setting sun catches the spray, creating momentary rainbows. This is what Baroque means. Art that moves your soul. Borromini strikes back. While Bernini commands the great commissions, Borromini creates architecture that defies belief. His church of Sant'Ivo alla Sapienza rises like a spiral of pure geometry. No straight lines, no classical columns, just mathematical curves that seem to ascend toward heaven itself. Imagine entering Sant'Ivo in 1660, just after its completion. The interior space flows like water, curves like music. Your eye can't find a place to rest because Borromini refuses to give you familiar reference points. This isn't just a church, it's a journey into pure architectural imagination. San Carlo alle Quattro Fontane. Borromini's masterpiece measures smaller than one of St. Peter's pillars. Yet inside, it feels infinite. The oval dome opens to light that seems to descend directly from God. Borromini has created heaven in miniature. The Vatican rises. While artists battle in the streets, the Vatican itself transforms. The Apostolic Palace expands with new galleries, chapels, and ceremonial halls. Pope Alexander VII's apartments become showcases of Baroque splendor. Imagine walking through the Vatican galleries in 1660. Paintings by Raphael share walls with contemporary masterpieces. Ancient Roman statues stand beside modern Baroque sculptures. This isn't just a palace, it's a museum of human achievement spanning 2 millennia. The Sistine Chapel receives new treasures. Altarpieces by Baroque masters complement Michelangelo's eternal ceiling. The Vatican Library expands with manuscripts from across the known world. Rome is becoming the intellectual as well as spiritual center of Catholic Europe. Church after church, a city of masterpieces, every month brings new artistic revelations. Santa Maria della Pace gets Borromini's theatrical facade. Sant'Andrea al Quirinale showcases Bernini's genius for sacred space. San Luigi dei Francesi displays Caravaggio's revolutionary paintings. Picture yourself church-hopping in 1655 Rome. Each building offers new revelations. Ceilings that seem to open to paradise, altars that glow with inner light, chapels that feel like private audiences with the divine. This is architecture as spiritual experience. Every curve, every play of light and shadow, every carved detail works together to lift the soul. Borromini and Bernini aren't just building churches, they're creating machines for transcendence. The palazzos compete. Rome's noble families don't want to be outdone by the church. The Barberini Palace rises like a small city, its ceiling painted with scenes of divine triumph. The Pamphili Palace commands an entire piazza with its magnificent facade. Imagine attending a reception at the Palazzo Barberini in 1655. Guests ascend staircases that seem to float on air. Reception halls display treasures from across Europe. Gardens provide intimate spaces for political and romantic intrigue. Every palazzo becomes a stage for Baroque theatre. Architecture, painting, sculpture, music, and poetry unite to create total artistic experiences. This is lifestyle as art form. The streets transform, Even Rome's streets participate in the Baroque revolution. The Spanish steps won't be built until the next century, but other grand staircases connect different levels of the city. Piazza del Popolo gets its twin churches. The Corso becomes a stage for carnival celebrations and papal processions. Picture walking from the Pantheon to the Trevi Fountain area in 1660. New streets cut through medieval neighborhoods. Squares open up to display church facades. Every vista is carefully planned to create maximum dramatic impact. This is urban planning as theater direction. Streets become processional routes. Squares become stages. Buildings become backdrops for the great drama of Catholic revival. Life in Baroque Rome. Daily life moves to Baroque rhythms. Church bells mark the hours with complex musical patterns. Festival processions fill the streets with color and sound. Artists' workshops buzz with creative energy that spreads through entire neighborhoods. Imagine shopping in Campo dei Fiori market in 1655. Vendors hawk their wares beneath Giordano Bruno's statue. Nearby workshops produce the materials of artistic revolution. Fine papers, exotic pigments, tools for carving marble. For common citizens, Baroque Rome means steady employment in construction and decoration. For visitors, it means spiritual and aesthetic experiences unlike anywhere else on earth. The price of beauty. This transformation comes at enormous cost. Papal finances strain under the weight of constant construction. Ancient Roman monuments are quarried for marble and stone. Some neighborhoods disappear entirely to make way for new projects. But Pope Alexander VII believes beauty serves God. Every scudo spent on art brings glory to the Church. Every masterpiece created strengthens Catholic faith against Protestant challenges. Standing in completed St. Peter's Square in 1665, as Bernini's colonnade nears completion, you witness this philosophy made manifest. Beauty, this powerful, justifies any sacrifice. The revolution spreads. By 1660, Baroque Rome influences architecture across Catholic Europe. Churches in Vienna copy Borromini's curves. Palaces in Madrid adapt Bernini's theatrical staircases. The artistic language born in Rome becomes the international style of Catholic power. Imagine letters arriving from across Europe, describing new buildings inspired by Roman examples. Rome's artistic revolution is becoming a European movement, spreading the new visual language of spiritual drama and political power. Legacy in stone. Today, Baroque Rome remains largely intact. Bernini's fountains still sing with flowing water. Borromini's churches still lift souls toward heaven. St. Peter's Square still embraces visitors from around the world. But in 1655, this wasn't historic preservation. It was cutting-edge innovation. Every completed project pushed the boundaries of what art could achieve. Every masterpiece challenged artists across Europe to reach higher. Imagine one last time walking through Rome at sunset in 1660. Golden light catches marble surfaces, creating plays of light and shadow the architects planned centuries ago. Water music from a dozen fountains creates the city's soundtrack. The eternal city has reinvented itself once more, and the result will inspire humanity for centuries to come. That's all for our journey through Baroque Rome's revolutionary decade. If there's another artistic golden age, another architectural rivalry, or another moment when creativity reshaped civilization, let me know in the comments. Until next time.